What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this is probably going to be my last ratings predictions video, but who knows, I might do one or two more. And in this video I'm going to be predicting who are going to be the top 10 cards in NBA 2K18 MyTEAM. If this video could hit 500 likes, that would be insane. And first of all, I am doing this on the assumption that 2K are using the exact same rating system for NBA 2K18 as they use for NBA 2K17, and that's with a few sapphires, no player being above a sapphire, and all the current cards being rated a lot lower to give space for moments cards. I think that content-wise, that worked fairly well for 2K this year. It was a cash grab, but it kept the game interesting. Even though, like, it almost forced you to spend money, it did really keep my team a lot more interesting, constant upgrades and moments cards, and I think they're going to keep it the same because I assume more packs than ever were opened on this 2K game. So we've got a tie for number 10, and there's actually 4 players I have at this rating, and that rating is 82 overall. These 4 players, first of all, we've got DeMarcus Cousins, and I'm going to say this now, this is not where I would rank these players. This is my rating predictions. I don't like some of the players on this list. I think some of the players should be, if I was making the ratings, will be way higher, but this is just a predictions. I think that 2K are going to rate them like this, not me. And as I said already, first up, we've got DeMarcus Cousins, 82 overall. I think that DeMarcus Cousins is probably the 4th best center in the NBA. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for saying that, but I honestly just think Gasol, Gobert, and Cat are probably better than him, to be honest. But DeMarcus Cousins, no doubt, is a really good player, and his actual ability to perform in a video game is going to be unbelievable. I think 82 is a fair rating for him. He could be an 83, who knows? Next, at an 82 overall, we have got Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler gets a 1 upgrade as far as I know from last year, and Jimmy Butler had another really good season with the Chicago Bulls. I hope he's really good for the Minnesota Timberwolves because I really like Towns and I really like Wiggins, and hopefully they can combine and make the playoffs next year. Also, at 82 overall, we have got John Wall. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I really like John Wall. Like, I think he's the best point guard in the East, and I have him way above Kyrie Irving. I don't put them in the same conversation. I'd put John Wall and Westbrook in the same conversation. I wouldn't have Kyrie Irving in there quite yet. So for that reason, I think John Wall is going to be rated 1 higher. I think Kyrie's going to be an 81 overall, the same as this year. But I think John Wall is going to be an 82 overall. He did have a really good season with the Washington Wizards. And even though last year, like, the Wizards weren't good 2 seasons ago, didn't make the playoffs. And this season, even though they started badly, did really, really well in the Eastern Conference, and we're unlucky to lose to the Boston Celtics. And the star of that Boston Celtics team, Isaiah Thomas, is my last prediction for 82 overall. I think that Isaiah Thomas is going to be an 82 overall. Originally I had him at an 83, but I don't actually see him being rated as highly as the players I do have an 83 overall. I think that an 82 overall is fair for Isaiah Thomas, but like, I wouldn't put Isaiah Thomas, if I was ranking NBA players, anywhere near the people ahead of him or even below him. Like, I don't put Isaiah Thomas probably in the top 20 players in the world, maybe hovering around that mark, but I think he did have a great year last year, and I think 2K will rate him highly for that, and he deserves to be rated highly for that. I don't think he can get any better from last season, but he had an exceptional year, and without doubt deserves to be in the top 10 cards in NBA 2K18. And now we're going up 1 rating to an 83 overall. First up is probably the most surprising of all these. I think that Draymond Green is going to be an 83 overall. I don't know why. Like, I don't think his game translates that well into 2K, but I genuinely do think that 2K are going to give Draymond Green an 83 overall. Sorry. I really like Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the most important player for the Golden State Warriors. Heck, I went to see the Warriors and the Nets over Christmas without Draymond Green, and the Nets nearly beat the Warriors. I know it's regular season, but it shows what an impact he has. I think that Green is an exceptional player. I think he's definitely top 10 in the NBA, and I think the 2K are going to give him the 83 overall. Next up, we have got the Greek Freak, who's also going to be an 83 overall, and it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, which was fairly obvious when I said the Greek Freak, but anyway. Giannis had a breakout year last year, played a little bit at the point and showed that he can pretty much play all 5 positions. He could realistically defend all 5, and who knows, he could probably play a little bit at center. If Giannis got a jump shot, he would literally be the best player in the world. I would not be surprised if when LeBron retires, that Giannis could be the best player in the world. because he's versatile. He can defend multiple positions, he can play multiple positions, and if he gets a jump shot, it's a GG. Giannis is going to be the best player in the world. And next up, also 83 overall, is another guy who could take LeBron James, or who could be the best when LeBron starts to decline, and it's Anthony Davis. Davis made the All-NBA first team, and even though his Pelicans team weren't great, he was really, really good. He started off the season exceptionally well, as you can see from even if you don't watch NBA, you can see by his 2K moments cards, having like a ruby before anyone else had a sapphire. Anthony Davis is he's the best big man in basketball. I don't think there's much of a question about that. Anthony Davis is the best big man in basketball, and I think an 83 overall, one upgrade from last year, is fair for him. And the last 83 overall is honestly, in my opinion, the second or third best player in basketball. I really like him, and he possibly could have won Finals MVP. But I think that 2K are going to give Steph Curry an 83 overall. And that's nothing against Steph. It's just that I think that they're going to rate the players, obviously, that I will say. I think they're going to rate them higher than Steph. This is not a knock on Steph. This is just that 2K are going to want to have as few sapphires as possible. And I think that they're going to downgrade Steph to an 83 overall. This is probably my most controversial pick and the least likely one to come true. But my gut's telling me they're going to drop him down, so I'm going to predict it. Again, this is not what I think. If I was making these rankings, I would have Steph probably same or one lower than LeBron James. But Steph, I think 2K are going to drop him down. So now we are on to the Sapphire cards. And I have two players at an 84 overall. First is the runner-up for MVP, James Harden. I think 2K probably would have given James Harden 85 overall, if not for that meltdown in Game 6 against San Antonio Spurs. But he was exhausted, so I'm not going to hold that too much against him. James Harden had one of the best regular seasons ever. He just was up for MVP against the guy who averaged a triple-double in Russell Westbrook, who ended up beating him out for it. James Harden led the NBA in assists and nearly averaged 30 points per game. That's pretty much unheard of. Harden is an absolutely incredible offensive player. While his defense isn't great, he's an incredible offensive player. I think he's going to have a bad year next year, because especially if they got Carmelo Anthony. I don't know how Chris Paul and Harden are going to work together, and I definitely don't know how they're going to work with Carmelo Anthony, but that should be fun to see. Anyway, 84 overall for James Harden. And the other 84 overall, the best defensive player in basketball, well, debatable, him or Draymond Green, and it's Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard stepped up big time offensively last year and led the San Antonio Spurs to the second best record in the NBA. They were actually beating the Warriors by over 20 points when he went down in Game 1, and a fully fit Kawhi Leonard could honestly lead the Spurs over the Warriors. I think everyone's talking about the super team in Houston, the Thunder getting Paul George, but realistically the only team that have any shot at beating the Golden State Warriors, and I'm including the Cavs in this conversation, I don't think the Cavs have any chance. I think the only team that has a chance of beating them is the San Antonio Spurs, and the main reason is Kawhi Leonard. If he's healthy, the Spurs can beat anyone on any given day. Next, we have got 85 overall, and I only think there's going to be one player that's an 85 overall, and I think that is going to be the current MVP, Russell Westbrook. Westbrook had a historic season. He averaged a triple-double, which no one has done since Oscar Robertson, and they thought it was impossible. I'm not Westbrook's biggest fan. I'm not. But I have to admit, he deserves to win MVP. I don't think he's going to win a championship ever. I don't think him and Paul George are going to do particularly well together, even though they might, and I could be proven completely wrong. But I think that Westbrook is going to be an 85 overall in NBA 2K17. And that's regardless of the players picked above him. I am almost certain that if they keep ratings as they are, Westbrook will be an 85 overall. That is my most comfortable prediction, and that's the only prediction I'm saying for almost with a certainty that I'm going to be right, and it's Westbrook's rating. And now we are down to two. Only two players left. I assume you guys all know who these players are. First, we've got the 86 overall Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, I actually had him staying as an 83 overall. I think based on the regular season, he didn't deserve to be up with these guys, and I may have even had Steph ahead of him. But Kevin Durant was unbelievable in the finals. Kevin Durant was great in the playoffs and deserved finals MVP. I'm not going to say outperformed LeBron in the finals, but he outperformed LeBron in big moments, and for that reason I think that an 86 overall is fair. I love Kevin Durant. I love his move to Golden State Warriors. I love the fact that he's unselfish. I don't like the fact that he ended up beating LeBron. I'm a big LeBron fan. but I think 86 overall is definitely a fair rating for him. A lot of people are going to say he should be an 85, but I have to put these two guys ahead of Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is great, but he's not on the level of Kevin Durant and LeBron James. And speaking of LeBron James, I also have him as an 86 overall. I know you guys are probably expecting me to say I have him at an 87 overall, but I don't think 2K are going to start with any rubies because that's one less potential upgrade for LeBron James. I think that LeBron James is going to be an 86 overall. An upgrade because even though he didn't have as historic a finals as he had in 2016, he was still great. He averaged a triple-double. But the only thing is, he had a better playoffs. People were saying that he was in his prime right now, which is not true. But he was incredible. He was incredible through the Eastern Conference. He was incredible in the finals, just did not have enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. And I think for that reason, he's going to be an 86 overall. LeBron and KD could easily be 85s and Westbrook an 85, but I think the two of them are going to be one ahead of Russell Westbrook. And I cannot see anyone being rated higher than LeBron James. And I would not be surprised if they do decide to bring in rubies, that LeBron James could be that ruby. And I actually personally think there is quite a big gap between LeBron and KD. But as we saw last year, when Steph Curry and LeBron were the same rating, even though there was a huge gap between them two, I think it's going to be the exact same at the start of NBA 2K18 MyTEAM. So anyway, that's the video. If you disagree with any of these predictions, which you probably will because there's a good few controversial ones in here, leave in the comments. This may be the last rating prediction I do, I don't know. I'll see how this goes and if I have any other rating prediction ideas, but I don't really have too much of a plan to make them in the future. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.